And we're live.
After the anthem.
We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watson Arena, home of your Freeport Dragons. This evening, Freeport will be hosting the visitors, the Marshwood Nighthawks. We will begin by announcing the visiting Nighthawks. At defense, number 9, Shane Cullity. At defense, number 17, Nick Edson. At center, number 19, Drew Vessels. At wing, number 13, Peter Blumenfeld. At wing, number 18, Tierney Ford. And in goal, number 30, Max LaPointe. And now, the starting lineup for your Freeport Dragons. At defense, number 3, Ethan Patterson. At defense, number 24, Ned Bump. At center, number 23, Evan Dorsey. At wing, number 17, Jimmy Salco. At right wing, number 20, Matt Rathbone. And in goal, number 1, Mike Shoemaker. Now will you all please rise and fable for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sidney J. Watson Arena for this evening's matchup between the Brunswick Dragons, the Wickport Dragons and the Marshwood Nighthawks. Brunswick is a combination of the Brunswick boys ice hockey program and the Freeport boys ice hockey program. Marshwood will be Marshwood, Trape, Noble, and Sanford. We welcome you all tonight. I am Kosinski. I will be leading the play-by-play this evening. On the camera, as always, Brandon Ware, and a new guest tonight. We have Simon Stadnicki with us. Simon, how do you feel?
Dude, I'm feeling great for this game, Kaz. Looks like a good matchup so far.
Absolutely, Simon. Starting out for the Dragons tonight, we will have on the left wing James Salco. On the right, Nat Rathbone. At center, Evan Dorsey. Left defender, Ned Boak. Right defender, Ethan Patterson. And in net, Michael Shoemaker. Coming out now for the Marshwood Nighthawks, Blumenfeld will be on the left wing. Tierney Ford on the right. Drew Vessels in the center. Cullity and Edson in defense. And Maxwell LaPointe in goal. Very excited for this matchup tonight. Face-off at center ice will be taken by the Hawks. Patterson looks to defend on goal quickly, and it'll be scooped up by number 13, Peter Blumenfeld, around the back of the ice. Racing to it is number 19 in black, being Drew Vessels, who is slammed into the boards. Now here come the Dragons the other way. Shot gloved by Maxwell LaPointe. That shot came from number 6 of the Dragons, being Carter Copeland. Or sorry, number 9, Cole Bowditch. Face-off taken by number 19 of the Dragons, Jamison Palmer. Dragons keep it in the zone. That's Ned Boak, the big defensive stand there. Number 17 of Marshwood. Nick Edson sends it long. Patterson with a big defensive stop, and it'll be Patterson and Blumenfeld fighting over it. Boak gets his stick on it. Boak sent into the boards hard. And that will be a bit of breathing room, getting it out of the zone for the Dragons. That was Carter Copeland on the clear. Patterson now scoops it up at the back. Dragons do have a bit of breathing room. Patterson sent in the boards. Now here comes Bowditch. Bowditch can't quite connect with Copeland the other way. Copeland does manage to poke it back. That was poked away from number 2, Damian McCarthy. First 2 will be Sam Inacio, who is laid out on his back by a Marshwood player. Evan Dorsey now in hot pursuit. Evan Dorsey was our player of the game last week. Had a monstrous 2-goal game. Nobody seems to be retaining clear possession of this puck, but it will be number 11, Brody Langella, that'll be first to it. Evan Dorsey now leading his Dragons the other way. Nat Rathbone hawking it down, if you will, chasing down number 10, Samuel Shepard, but that won't last long. James Salco looking to be the first 2. Evan Dorsey will grab it. Dorsey can't quite get a hold of it. And it is collected to the back by Avery Sampson, who finds Patterson out on his right. Patterson sends it long, buys the boys a bit of time, gets a change out. Now here come the Hawks the other way. That'll be Shane Cullity, a defenseman. He'll send it long. Ooh, big hit there. That'll be Drew Wilson going into the boards. Sent out the other way. Patterson first 2. Patterson is the fastest skater on this team. Defender, but he will occasionally be leading the lines, going the other way. Number 19, Jamison Palmer, couldn't quite get a hold of that one. Here come the Nighthawks the other way. Was a one-on-one opportunity, but Patterson got his stick on it. Shot attempt by number 19. Drew Vessels won't go as he tripped over his own skate. Here comes Patterson the other way. Patterson looks for something. Won't go as it's around the net. He'll get a quick change. Copeland the first 2. Avery Sampson the only one back. Gets a bit of time as the Dragons look to reset here. Get everybody back out of the zone. Simon, how do we feel so far? It's been quite chaotic. No stoppages of play yet.
You know, I'm feeling Marshwood is a bit feisty right now, hitting a lot. But we got Brunswick taking shots already, which is looking great for us.
Absolutely, Simon. Simon, do you think that this game is going to be riddled with hard hits?
I definitely think so. I think as the game goes on, it's going to get worse.
And we'll see our first stoppage of play there. It's the puck, our second stoppage of play, sorry, as the puck will be frozen by Shoemaker, and we will see an offensive zone faceoff in favor of the Nighthawks. Faceoff will be taken by Sean Sullivan contesting Evan Dorsey. Sullivan ends up winning that one. Marshwood does not keep it in the zone. Dragons the other way. 3-on-3 opportunity. Dorsey out to Rathbone. Rathbone shot won't go. What a shot by Rathbone, though. That's as good as a look is going to come. Now Marshwood comes the other way. Big defensive stop by number 14 of your Brunswick Dragons. That will be Theo Leons. Kept in the zone by Evan Wilson of Marshwood. Dorsey looks for some breathing room, finds Nat Rathman, who's almost able to collect it around the back, but it will be quickly scooped up by Brody Langella. And Langella is going to send a filthy shot to the top right corner of Brunswick's net. That was something. Simon, how do we feel about that?
You know, it's not great, but it was a good shot off by Marshwood.
Yep, definitely hard to see that early in the game as a Dragons fan. We are the Brunswick High School Sports Network, so we do like the Dragons more than any other team. We do not try to show bias, but it does come out occasionally. All right, face-off will be taken between Jonah Kittinger and number 19 of Marshwood, Drew Vessels. Kittinger will end up winning that one, I guess. Patterson now collects the puck in his own end. Pressured pretty intensely there by number 18. Sent out to Brunswick's own number 18, Nikki Heestand. Around the back. Big shot by Patterson, gloved by LaPointe, and we will see an offensive zone faceoff for the Dragons so far. Simon, sorry. Ethan has been shooting from pretty deep, pretty early. Do you think we're going to see a range goal this game, like we saw last time?
I think absolutely Ethan Patterson will have a great goal. Definitely far out. He could have a tap-in up close or make a good chance for someone else.
Totally. Patterson, of course, last game did. Dragons with a quick score! And that will be... Simon, who do we think scored that? Was that Carter Copeland?
Looks to be...
That's number 5, Jonah Kittinger. That is awesome. Today, during Flex, with the Holiday Wish Fund, Kaz Kosinski, yours truly, went and talked to Jonah Kittinger and told him he must score today. And he has already come through. Dragons snap back quickly. 1-1 is your score here. Face-off taken at center ice between number 23, Evan Dorsey, and number 7, Sean Sullivan. Marshwood will come out with that one. And Shane Kalitti looks down the ice, and Sean Sullivan won't beat Boak there. There's the disappearing zone, folks at home. When you guys can see this left corner, we really can't. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening. That was number 9, Shane Kalitti with the shot. Shane Kalitti, no good. Down, and Kalitti scoops it up and sends it back around to Brody Langella. Number 11, of course. First thing we've seen from McCarthy today, he'll send it down. Somebody's stick is out on the ice. I mean, I'm not entirely sure whose that is. Simon, who doesn't have a stick?
Looks to be one of the Marshwood players.
A Marshwood player on the bench is missing his stick. That's odd. I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. I guess the next stoppage of play.
Number 7 with no stick.
Number 7, Sean Sullivan, no stick. No stick Sullivan's what they call him. Number 11. Oh, Patterson gets back at him. They've been chippy a little bit. That'll be Langella and Patterson going at it. Langella tries to lay a little something on Bowditch, but he's too tough for that. Dorsey sends it back around. And miscommunication appears from Marshwood. Patterson looks to central. Won't find anybody, and here comes Kalitti and his Nighthawks the other way. Patterson eats one from Kalitti there. Around the back, here comes Salko the other way. That is not Salko, sorry. That is Avery Sampson. Sampson with a good run into Bowditch. Bowditch possesses, sends it to himself around the back. And number 10, Samuel Shepard will be the first there. Big hit from the Dragons. Copeland can't quite possess it. Now we have a dangerous 2-on-1. Sam Inacio, last man back. Sampson flies back to make the big stop. That's Avery Sampson for you there, folks. Hustler. The other way. Led by Cole Bowditch. Tries to leave it off for Dorsey, but Dorsey wasn't quite there. Dorsey now possesses. Sends it around, and Marshwood will take over. Looks to get a bit of breathing room. Inacio is the first one there to send it back in. Dorsey centralizes. Bowditch. Bowditch, a point-blank shot, but the goalie was perfectly positioned to get in front of it. Now Inacio facing another 2-on-1. Dorsey and Patterson flying back in defense. Inacio with the big-time stop. Huge shutdown from Sam Inacio. That was Tierney Ford of Marshwood looking to shoot, but Inacio just got in his way. Dragons with a bit of breathing room here now as Marshwood looks to sub. Copeland can't quite retain it. That stick in the middle is a real nuisance, isn't it, Simon?
Absolutely.
Stick is still just floating around just like the puck. Wow, something on frame there. Simon, what do you have to say so far? This has been a game with very few stops, no penalties yet, and 2 goals.
You know, I think our defense is really holding up back there with Sam Ignacio and Avery Sampson. They're really doing well. We got Ethan Patterson is really doing well on defense and attack, getting shots off from the deep.
Absolutely. Patterson, a crucial player to this Brunswick defense. And Nicky Heastand looks to fire, and it won't go. That was Jamison Palmer. Palmer looked to fire, and it won't go. Palmer with it again. Ooh. Shot from Copeland, close, but sometimes, Simon, those close shots are the hardest because the goalie can just sit in front of you. Now here comes Palmer again. Palmer looks to buy a bit of time, sends it out to number 2, Drew Wilson of Brunswick. Around the back, it'll be Shane Kalidi to move it up the ice. Kalidi with a bit of breathing room. Damian McCarthy of Marshwood now picks it up. Patterson gives him a little bump. Little how do you do, if you will. It appears the stick has disappeared and is no longer on the ice. That's good news for everybody. Here comes Cole Bowditch leading us the other way.
Stick is still on the ice.
Stick is still on the ice. We have word. Shot won't go. 2-on-3 for the Nighthawks. Might as well just scrap it. Not a great movement there. That was risky. Thankfully, Dragons are able to come up with it. Here comes Dorsey the other way. Dorsey looked like a young Gretzky last time, and he does again. Dorsey dipping, bobbing, and weaving, looking to fire. There's something so elegant about him moving down the ice, cutting in and out. Simon, what do you have to say about that?
You know, he's got the skill moves, and he's definitely fast, and he can shoot, so it's lovely to watch.
Totally. We're going to see an offensive zone faceoff here for the Dragons between Jonah Kittinger and number 19, Drew Vessels. That was Sampson who will send it around the back. Scooped up by Brunswick. Nicky Heastand looks to shoot. Won't go. Heastand hits the ice. Sorry, folks. That is not Heastand. That is number 10, Tyler Landry. Patterson sends it out to Landry. Landry cuts up the ice. Here we go. Jamison Palmer with a little bit of room to maneuver. Sorry, now it's Nicky Heastand. My gosh. Cannot get this right now. That will be Theo Leons who sends it back around. Heastand is the first 2. Oak sends one in. Boom! Big goal from Tyler Landry. Simon, that's exactly what the Dragons were hoping to see.
You know, absolutely lovely to see that. That's great for the Dragons. Put them up 1 goal with 5 minutes left.
Absolutely. Dragons lead 2-1 now. As you can see on our scoreboard, funded by Singer Domingos Portside Real Estate Group. Big shout out to them for this our first corporate sponsor, guys. At center ice, we now have Evan Dorsey and Sean Sullivan. Dorsey will win that, and Ned Boak will collect it. Ned looks for a little something to happen here. He'll take it one way. And he'll send it down the ice. Rathbone first to it. Sean Sullivan gets something on it. Now it'll be Kalidi, who will send it out to Damian McCarthy. Patterson winds up with it. Patterson weaving in and out. Go to goal, Patterson. Oh, Patterson. Oh, la 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 la. Bit of confusion here, but it'll be Kalidi. And Patterson laid the boom on him. Patterson not afraid of the boomstick is something we've definitely learned. He's happy to lay a hit. And good look from Marshwood, but it won't go. It'll be Rathbone to collect it. Now Dorsey on it. Dorsey cuts in, cuts out, continues to move down the ice. Dorsey goes between one of the legs of the players there. Centerizes it, but it won't go. Damian McCarthy looking to pick it up and lead it the other way. He'll get it up to Langella. Langella cannot make anything happen with it. And he'll send it around. Dorsey now with some room to maneuver. 2 guys closing fast. Cuts in, beats 1. Shot won't go. Keeper's glove deflected it up. Simon, Dorsey has definitely been having some great looks. Again, Dorsey is number 23 in white.
You know, Dorsey's not only getting shots, but he's also making great opportunities for other players to get shots off.
Absolutely, Simon. He has had some quality plays in which he cuts in, cuts out, drives low, and centers it. And if somebody's there to tap that in, I mean, that's a perfect hockey play. We're going to see our first. We will see our first icing call from the Dragons here, and we will get a defensive zone face-off. Simon's going to talk to you for 1 second now.
You know, this game's looking great so far. We got 3:56 left on the clock. 2-1 the Dragons. Anything could happen. They're down in our zone. Marshwood gets a shot off. We got the Dragons taking it up.
That'll be Bowditch cutting in and out. Bowditch looks to fire, and Maxwell Lapointe will be able to freeze that one. That was a great look from Bowditch. Bowditch is now on his second or third year with the team, and we know Bowditch is on his second year with the team. Bowditch did have a couple goals last year to his name, and hasn't scored yet this year, but he's definitely been an impact player, and only 2 games in, he's shown his worth. This will be Bowditch again out there.
Oh my God.
That was absolutely filthy, Simon. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Holy.
Oh my days, he recovered from getting it right behind the ref and bar down from Bowditch. Disgusting.
That was unbelievable. My goodness. Cole Bowditch, you're an evil man. And just as I was saying, Bowditch has no goals yet on the year. He goes and sends one into the upper right corner. Mama, there goes that man.
Dragon goal, score number 9, Cole.
We will see a face-off at mid-ice here between Jonah Kittinger and Sean Sullivan. Simon, the Hawks struck first, but it is now 3-1, and within 8 minutes. I mean, what do we have to say about this?
You know, this is great. Looking for us is absolutely wonderful. 2-goal lead in the first part is absolutely great for us.
This has been a ruthless offensive showing for the Dragons so far. 3 goals, 12 minutes in. I mean, if I'm doing the math correctly, that's about a goal every 4 minutes. That's a pretty good ratio, Simon. Face-off won by the Hawks, but they cannot maintain it. Now Jonah Kittinger leads us the other way. Ty Landry in hot pursuit, as is Kittinger, but it'll be Shane Colletti the first to it. He'll bump it forward. Langella and Sullivan now try to come the other way with it, but Dragons have all 5 guys back. Sam Inacio in defense. It'll be Nicky Heestand fighting for it. Kept in the zone. Avery Sampson moves up the ice. Bumps it ahead, and it'll be Colletti to collect it again. Out to Langella. Langella now finds McCarthy up ice. McCarthy weaves in and out. And that will not go. That was a great look from Damian McCarthy, number 2 in purple. Shane Colletti will send it around for the Hawks. And I'm not entirely sure what Damian McCarthy just did. There is another stick down. This one will be quickly collected by Avery Sampson. Good defensive holds from the Dragons. They'll get a change after an icing call. We'll see an offensive zone face-off for the Nighthawks. Simon, how are we feeling so far?
I mean, I'm feeling great right now. Being up 2 goals and it almost being over with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. This is wonderful.
Absolutely. And all of the goals, if I may be quite frank, were absolutely filthy. I mean,
absolutely.
Cole Bowditch just put on a masterclass on that last goal. The second Brunswick goal, you know, it was a team effort. They baited the goalie out. Patterson will swing it around. Wilson looked to fire, and that one won't go. Big shot from Wilson. Marshwood will send it around. 13, Peter Blumenfeld. We haven't heard much from this game. Looks to collect it. Patterson the first 2. Chased down by the 18 and 19 duo of Tierney Ford and Drew Vessels, and we're going to get Maxwell Lapointe freezing the puck here, and we'll see an offensive zone face-off for your Brunswick Dragons. Roughly 2 minutes left in this first period. Marshwood definitely going to have some stuff to talk about. Face-off taken by Blumenfeld and Jamison Palmer. Marshwood gets it out of the zone. But Dragons come right back in. That's Patterson. Patterson looks to fire, can't quite get a hold of it. Patterson and Copeland in the chase now, and that'll be Palmer who winds up with it. Palmer gets around number 9, Shane Colletti there. Who but Cole Bowditch won't go. Cole Bowditch, definitely one of my stars of the game right now. Oh.
Ooh.
Huge boom from Patterson, who made sure Ford was familiar with what the boards felt like. Dragons will get Patterson off for a little line change now. Oh boy. 3-on-2 the other way for the Hawks, but Sampson ships it up high. Foolish Marshwood player, number 17, tried to catch it and was laid on his back. I feel like when there's hits this big, you need to be a little more careful. I'm just saying. Marshwood comes the other way now, 2-on-3. They won't have much going. Be McCarthy to send it down. Sullivan couldn't quite get it, and we're going to get an offside call, I believe, as Sean Sullivan entered the zone before the puck did. Dragons will get a big line change. And we're going to get a... Sorry, I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Slash, maybe. Interference on Carter Copeland. Beware, rules analyst at home. Beware has made it clear. No icing call, as there will be a power play. We're going to get that hooked up for you folks. Carter Copeland will be off the ice for 2 minutes, which will continue into the second period. And stay tuned after this. We will have a special halftime, or sorry, I guess mid-period, mid-game interview. Marshwood possesses behind their own net. Doesn't look like they're going to leave any time for Dragons after they make one final run. Shane Colletti comes down the other way. Patterson, big hit. Doesn't look like Marshwood's going to make anything happen here. And that will take us to the end of the first period. Carter Copeland, about 1:20 remaining on that penalty. The Dragons will go into the break up 3-1. And we do have an interview with superfan Micah Greenwald ready to go. Micah, how are we feeling about the game?
Hey, what up? Back at it again. Micah Greenwald. I feel good. You know, we're looking good on the attack here. Student section's getting hype behind the glass, so, you know, I think we really just got to get the puck up top, and we're hoping for some big rips here in the second period.
Absolutely, Micah. We saw a filthy piece of work from the Cole Bowditch, number 9, on your Dragons. What was your initial reaction to that?
Dude, get Bodie the puck. I mean, he's putting on a clinic up there. You know, look out for those stick skills, and I want to see more out of him in the second and third period here.
Absolutely. He went in, out, top cheddar. Something that I actually was on the stream talking about, you know, Cole Bowditch, big time sophomore impacts player. You know, we haven't seen a goal from him yet this season. Seconds later, boom. Do you feel confident the Dragons will win this game right now?
Hey, I'm not putting my money on anybody yet, but, you know, I'm proud of my Dragons here. And we're really hoping for the dub.
All right, we're going to get another word here from Dara and then one other group of people. Dara, you're a bit of a hockey player yourself. What would you be doing differently?
Nothing. Just play like Bodie.
You heard it here
Get
first,
them
folks.
Top bins. Shout out girls team too. Girls hockey on top. But the boys are pretty awesome too.
Dara's got a big heart, loves all kinds of teams. We're going to get a word from Madison Nolt now, who is interested in speaking on the stream. Madison, exciting start to the game. Goals from Tyler Landry, Jonah Kittinger, and Cole Bowditch. How important is it to have a varying in your goal scorers, to have different people scoring your goals?
It really just shows on the scoreboard like how much we're working together and like racking up the goals and getting points for everyone.
Absolutely, Madison. Do you think it shows that the team is well blended, has good chemistry as well?
Yeah, it really shows in their passing too. They really have good chemistry out there.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, folks. We will be back in about 10 minutes and 55 seconds. close here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second period of ice hockey here at Sidney J. Watson Arena. Big shout out to Bowdoin for allowing the Brunswick boys ice hockey team to utilize this beautiful rink they have. Face-off will be taken at mid-court, mid-ice by Nat Rathbone against number 19, Drew Vessels. Collected that back by Kalidi, who will drive it down. Rathbone hawking him down. Kalidi enters the offensive zone. Dragons, of course, still down a player. That being Carter Copeland, who was charged with interference for a 2-minute penalty. Puck will stay in the zone, the official declares. That'll be Drew Vessels. Vessels picks it back up, sends it to Kalidi at the top. Dragons holding their box nicely. Patterson send it all the way down. No icing call, as it is a power play. Marshwood now comes the other way. Number 19, Drew Vessels, attacks Ned Boak. Ned Boak able to clear it up. That'll be Sean Sullivan contesting. Shoemaker won't let anything in. Patterson sends it down the other direction. No icing call, and Sean Kalidi will come pick it up. Nicky Heastand, the first one to hold him back, as Kalidi waits for his guys to get back, and now here come the Marshwood Hawks the other way. Out to Sullivan. Sullivan, it will come off his skate. Patterson will once again send it down ice. Catch can't be made by Kalidi. That was a routine pop fly, but couldn't bring it down. Marshwood looking to attack, but they won't get anything, and the power play is over. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Patterson will send Langella into the boards. Patterson and Langella have been going at it a bit tonight, I'll say. Bit of tempers, bit of anger between the two of them. I'm sure Patterson has gotten in his head and we will see an icing call here. And the Dragons will be in their own defensive zone, looking to win this face-off. Hold the lines. On the ice for the Dragons is Bowditch, Copeland, Jamison Palmer, Avery Sampson, and there's one other on the far side I can't see. Maybe it's Drew Wilson. I will let you all know when I find out. It is Drew Wilson. Perfect. Face-off comes up for the Dragons. Collected by Copeland the other way. Copeland looks to shoot, and it'll come off the skate of number 10, Samuel Shepard. It'll get sent down the other way, and Dragons will pick it up. Sampson swings it around to Wilson. Wilson back to Sampson. Copeland mishandles it. That will be Ford and Vessels in pursuit. Puck won there by number 13, Peter Blumenfeld. Palmer can't quite get it up. The fall on the stick of Copeland. Or sorry, Bowditch will send it over to Copeland. Bit of a scruffle down there. That'll be Wilson who flips it away. Marshwood will come up with it, though. And number 14 of Marshwood, Evan Wilson, will be sent into the boards.
Dang.
Ooh, Dragon shot from Copeland won't go. We will get a offensive zone face-off for the Dragons. They're going to say that LaPointe froze it. Line changes made by both teams. You're going to see Sean Sullivan and Evan Dorsey taking this face-off here. Here comes Sean Sullivan and Langella the other way. Sullivan shoots, and Shoemaker will eat that one. Simon, pretty active first couple minutes here. How do we feel?
Yeah, I think Marshwood has the upper hand right now, but Brunswick's playing pretty well defensively, and Michael Shoemaker in net is doing great so far.
That totally checks out. Dorsey versus Sullivan will come up neither, but Marshwood does win it. Shot off the woodwork there from Langella, but Dorsey flies through. Cody the first two, thankfully, for the Marshwood Nighthawks. Good look from McCarthy. And Shoemaker will eat that one like the absolute beast that he is. And we will see an offensive zone face-off here for the Marshwood Nighthawks. Shoemaker with another big save. He was our BHSN, one of our players of the game.
Theo Lyons' blade came off for a minute. Theo Lyons' blade came off for a minute there. Struggling in the back of the net.
No, that's something you don't see that often. Face-off between Dorsey and Sullivan. Here comes Salko the other way. He is flying down, and we will see an icing call. James Salko, captain of the Dragons. Assistant captain of the Dragons, sorry. He has gotten that A on his chest now. Something that was a recent addition, if you will. He did not have it last game. He was voted assistant captain at the beginning of the season. And we're going to once again see Dorsey and Sullivan take the face-off. Dorsey will win it. Boak the first two. But that'll be Damian McCarthy to get it away from Boak. Boak wins it back, though, on a nice defensive stop. Boak, here's Boak again. Boak, possession into the offensive zone. Boak's shot won't go, but that's close. And trouble for Marshwood in the defensive end right now. They cannot quite keep it together. Sullivan sends it up to Langella, who will come down with it. Boak defends nicely. Langella manages to get around to Damian McCarthy around the other side. Back out to Kalidi, whose shot won't go, deflected off the skate of somebody. Out to Dorsey. Dorsey now flying down the ice. Cuts through a couple defenders. Simon Dorsey, we have seen over and over again, is quite good at hockey. And that is another goal for your Brunswick Dragons. That'll be Nat Rathbone on the goal. Dragons lead 4-2-1.
You know, Dorsey made that happen there, getting the puck all the way down and making a big hit to make the puck free for Nat Rathbone to take it and put it in the back of the net.
Dragons looking dominant here. The 4-1 lead. 4 consecutive goals for your Brunswick Dragons. That was Nat Rathbone opening up his scoring this season. That one, it just looked like the keeper got out of place, and we are going to see an offsides, I believe. Is that offsides? Yes, that will be an offsides call.
Dragon goals, scorer number 20, Nat Rathbone.
Of course, huge shout out to Brandon Ware for operating the camera. He is a huge part of this Brunswick hockey program, and he has been for a while now, so he is a seasoned veteran in this sport. And another shout out to Portside Domingos, Singer Domingos Portside Real Estate Group for sponsoring our scoreboard. Here comes Marshwood the other way. Shot from number 19, Drew Vessels, won't go. Dragons get it the other way. Ty Landry leads us in. Landry coming in hot. A big cutback over to Nicky Heastand, who is jammed up and won't get his shot off. Collected by Jamison Palmer, and there was trouble there. A storm is brewing in Bowdoin right now as the Dragons lead by a lot. Drew Wilson looks to defend. What a snatch from Shoemaker. Shoemaker with another big save. Simon, how do you feel about Shoemaker's performance these last couple games?
I mean, I'm loving it right now. I love Michael Shoemaker there in net. He's doing great, and what a save that was on that last shot.
Shoemaker has saved 51 of the last 54 shots. I mean, that is huge. Last 2 games, we're taking that stat from. Shane Kalidi into Langella. No tripping call there. Copeland looks to get it up the ice, but was interrupted by Nick Edson of Marshwood. Dragons possess. It'll be Inacio who sends it up the ice to Cole Bowditch. Bowditch on 1 goal already today. Copeland fires, and that's going to score! The Dragons cannot be stopped. Copeland will dive into the boards to celebrate with his Brunswick student section. The Dragons are dominating.
I mean, you can't give him that space there. He had no one on him. It's just an open shot. It was lovely.
My gosh, the Dragons are showing if you let them shoot, they will punish you. Huge shot from Carter Copeland tonight. Dragons now lead 5-1 with 5 separate scores. Dorsey and Sullivan's face-off at mid-ice goes to the Dragons. It'll be sent around the back by number 14, Theo Leons. Marshwood comes up with it. Shoemaker pops it out, though, with his stick. Sean Sullivan cleans it up. Sent away by Sam Ignacio. Rathbone chasing down Sean Collitti. Was a name we've heard a lot tonight. He's been a big impact defensively and offensively for the Marshwood Nighthawks. Dorsey doing Dorsey things. Marshwood ends up with that one. It'll be Sullivan around to Collitti. Down the ice to Langella. That's Simon. I feel like I'm saying these 3 names over and over again. Sullivan, Langella, and Collitti. I mean, have they been big players or what?
I mean, it looks like Marshwood doesn't have a ton of players on their bench, so they have some crucial players that definitely help their team a lot, which are those 3 names that you just mentioned.
Absolutely, Simon. It'll be McCarthy and that Patterson back out now for the Dragons. Patterson and McCarthy fighting for that. Salko will hit the floor. Evan Dorsey cuts in, cuts out. Finds Rathbone up the wing. Rathbone again sitting on a goal tonight already. Boak versus Langella now. 1-on-1, and Boak makes the stop. Boak comes up big for the Dragons. I'll tell you, Simon, Boak is reliable. He can do a job back there. He will hold it down. Dorsey comes flying the other way. Pressured by 2. Langella. And that was also Peter Blumenfeld on the press. My apologies. Boak will come out with that one. Or he won't. And the other way, 2v1 between Langella and... Big save by Shoemaker! That was Langella and Vessels, who had a clear look at Shoemaker. But he is there to stop it.
Dragging goal, scorer number 5, Jonah Kinger. Assistant number 19, Jamal Palmer.
And we are going to get a hooking call on number 19, Drew Vessels of Marshwood. Definitely seems upset going to the bench. So Marshwood will be down a man.
Nighthawks penalty on 19, Drew Vessels.
So the Dragons, who already lead 5-1, will be up a player for the next 2 minutes. Marshwood will win that and quickly clear it. Sampson collects it from Shoemaker around the back of the net. Looks to lead his guys the other way. Up to Bodic. Bodic into the attacking zone. Gets it in. Will the Dragons keep it in the zone? Around to Bodic. That was Palmer around to Bodic. Now Sampson looks to shoot. Jammed up a lot of bodies in front of the net there. Puck will float in front of the net, and the Shoemaker taking a big step out of net there to come clear it. Dragons will re-enter the zone, led by Jamison Palmer, who shoots, and it'll be gloved by Maxwell Lapointe of Marshwood. We're going to see an offensive zone face-off for the Dragons here. About a minute 20 left on the power play there. The Dragons remain up a player until that releases. Face-off between Dorsey and Sullivan goes to Marshwood. Marshwood cannot manage to clear it quite yet, and they do. That'll mean Dragons will have to get a full reset. Everybody will have to leave the offensive zone and re-enter. Drew Wilson now looks to make something happen. Sends it long to Dorsey. Dorsey collects, weaves in and out. Picked up by Rathbone, who's back around to Patterson. Patterson does not look to shoot, rather finds Rathbone, who looks to shoot, and it'll be off the leg pad of Lapointe. Left off for Patterson by James Salco. And that one will unintentionally exit the zone for the Dragons, who have to fully clear. There's a delayed call of the offsides there, no call. Rathbone the first to pressure. Send it around the back. Patterson's going to scoop it up. Looks like the Dragons are going to have one more go at things here while up a man. Patterson comes in hot. Dragons can't get it, and it looks like that might kill the power play for Marshwood. Shoemaker banging his stick, wanting something to happen, clearly. We could not quite hear what it was. We can trust him, though. He is Michael Shoemaker. And Wilson is going to get laid out hard there by Tierney Ford. Marshwood comes up with it. That'll be up to Drew Vessels. Vessels skates past Wilson. Sampson steps hard defensively, allowing the Dragons to get back. And that will be Sampson who rounds the corner. Brings it up. Wilson collects at the back. Simon, we've had a pretty consistent strand of play here. How are we feeling?
You know, Marshwood is not keeping the puck right now. They're getting it, and they're just firing it up the ice. Well, Brunswick's doing some good passing and getting some shots off right now.
Absolutely. I think Marshwood is playing a type of hockey you play when you're worried and you need to catch up, and that is just send it long and hope it works. And it often doesn't work. You know, it's not that surprising to you folks at home, but it often doesn't work. Marshwood looks to make anything out of this. They can't quite, and taken away by Heastand, who will fly the other way, but Kalidi closes out early. Heastand manages to retain the puck. Shot on by Palmer, will not end up in the net. Frozen by LaPointe. Both teams will get a big line change. I guess the Dragons don't get a huge line change, but they do. And we're going to see an offensive zone faceoff here for your Brunswick Dragons. Taken between Palmer and I believe that's Sullivan. Nope. Copeland shoots. Won't go, and that is the odd scenario where the puck leaves the rink. So Simon, walk me through what exactly just happened to the puck there.
I think the puck got sent over the net there, it looks like.
That does sound about right. I don't know if it went over the net, but it went through the net at some point. And Marshwood looks to get up the ice here, and they do. But the Dragons end up with the puck. Marshwood definitely starting to put some new names in here. Maybe guys are getting tired. First and second line guys are getting tired, and they're giving third line a little shot at things, looking for some more energy. You know, trying to make a little magic happen here. I mean, they need 5 goals right now to take the lead, which, although unlikely, is not impossible. We've seen higher scoring games than that, certainly. Sullivan versus Palmer will be the face-off. Quickly won by Sullivan, sorry. And Marshwood took a big shot there, but it went over the crossbar. Now Brody Langella looks to make something happen. And Bodic is the one to win that. Now Patterson presses hard. Patterson flying the other way. Patterson shot won't go. Is off the side of the net. It looked in. Oh, and the keeper is way out of net. What a shocking series of events that was. That was number 14, Evan Wilson, the only man contesting Patterson. Shot went side net. That is a hard shot to take, though. And we will see the puck enter the bench of Marshwood. So that will be a stoppage of play and a center ice faceoff. Dragons will send in Dorsey. Marshwood will send in Sullivan. Simon, who do you think's won more of these Sullivan versus Dorsey face-offs so far?
Honestly, I think Dorsey has had a good amount of face-off wins against Sullivan currently.
That sounds about right. Shot on by Langella will be quickly frozen up by Shoemaker, and we're going to see an offensive zone face-off for the Nighthawks. About a minute 58 to go here, minute 57. As the Dragons look to close out a shutout quarter with 2 goals of their own. Face-off taken between Kittinger and Sullivan will go to the Dragons, who will send it around. Heastan gets taken some damage there from Edson. Kittinger wins it. Can't make anything happen with it. Collitti around the back. Out to Langella, who will send it long. Michael will leave it off. Michael Shoemaker will leave it off for Avery Sampson. Around the back of things to Nicky Heastand. That could not properly be controlled by Nick Edson, who does eventually get a hold of it and send it around. We are seeing some... I'm not sure what just happened there, Simon. Did they just call that a goal?
I don't think that was a goal, but they shot the puck after the whistle was blown, and they started jabbing at Michael Shoemaker there.
Refs talking it over. Not sure what the final call is yet. The scoreboard here, the projector, does say goal. And
Final decision, goal.
they are going to say it's a goal. Now, we do here at BHSN say the refs are always right, but, you know, this is one of those ones where it's like, I'm not sure. I really don't know. We do have an instant replay tool here as we are streaming on YouTube. I don't think that was a goal, Michael. I don't. You can't just do that.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I still don't believe that was a goal. I don't think it crossed fully, but I guess refs are always right.
Refs are always right. Yes, they are, Simon. And Marshwood Hawks have scored their first goal of this quarter. First goal since the 11 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the first period of this game. They have been silent for a while. Now the Dragons definitely look upset. Big save from Michael Shoemaker, who was pretty fired up about that himself. Rathbone will send it around to Wilson. Looks up the ice. That was number 13, Peter Blumenfeld, who tried to turn and shoot but couldn't quite get a hold of it. Dragons will clear it out of the offensive zone, and we will see it go all the way down. Hawks look to come the other way with it. And that was Sampson who tried out a big hit. Dorsey can't quite advance with it. Nice tackle from Sam Inacio. Dorsey will end up with it, and on his back he will send it, or on his stomach, sorry, sliding down, he will send it up the ice. And we're going to see a penalty on number 19, Drew Vessels of Marshwood. He is upset in the box. He is spiking his helmet and throwing his gloves. I don't know exactly what it was called on, but a couple, roughly 16 seconds remain in this first half here. Dragons looking to make a little magic happen before the half closes out, as the power play will continue into the second part of the half, or into the third period, sorry. Patterson making one final run. Big shot deflected. One last shot. Frozen. Not frozen. Bumped out of the glove, and it won't go. Dragons score 2 goals this period. Marshwood scores 1 at the end there. And we're going to have a little halftime interview here with the Mr. Boyd of Brunswick High School. Mr. Boyd, welcome. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you guys?
We are awesome here. Mr. Boyd, how do you feel about this game so far?
It's awesome. You know, it's always great to be up by 3. It feels nice to be up, but I have to say I'm so proud of the guys. They're locked in tonight. It's really tempting when you get up in a game to just kind of be like, whatever, but they are skating when they're supposed to skate. They've got great passing control. They're controlling the puck really well, and they are still locked in, and it's great to see that.
Absolutely, Mr. Boyd. Mr. Boyd, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but at the end of the year, BHSN does a few awards, and one of them is Fan Supporter of the Year, and currently you are one of the top candidates for that. How do you feel about that?
Wow, what a great honor. I want to give a special shout out to Sam Inacio. He's number 4 on the guys team here, and so always enjoy watching him play, watching all the other players, and then on the girls team I've got several of those students in PEP committee and in my classes as well, so great to be out and support our students.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Boyd.
Absolutely, thank you.
Dragons lead 5-2 after the second period. We're going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the Zamboni. Simon, I normally do this with Robert, so Simon, here's how this is going to go. You're going to ask me what a Zamboni is real quick, okay?
Guys, what's a Zamboni?
Simon, what is a Zamboni? A Zamboni is a Jeep with a superstructure that will scrape the ice and sprinkle the surface with water, so that in 7 minutes, a fresh coating of ice is provided. All right, and with that, we will end it until the third period. We'll see you folks in about 11 minutes. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the third period of the Wickport boys versus Marshwood Nighthawks ice hockey game here at Sidney J. Watson Arena. The Dragons currently lead 5-2. We're going to see Dorsey and Sullivan at center ice for the face-off. Dorsey will win it. It was bumped back to Patterson, who left it off for Ned, but Ned couldn't quite get his stick on it. Patterson now skating. Langella interrupts him. And we're going to see a puck deflection, and it'll be back to Patterson now. We're going to see Patterson look to central it, and he will! And that's backdoor Dorsey with another goal on the season. Simon, what do we think?
My days, what do I think? This is absolutely exquisite right now. 6-2. Just started the third period. Nothing better.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. Dorsey is young Gretzky. That is his third goal in the last 2 games. He is off the rails. Asher has something you'd like to say quickly.
He is just a player of touch and
that's enough from Asher. Sullivan versus Dorsey will now take the face-off. Salko comes forward with it. Salko shoots one. It'll be off the shin pad there of LaPointe. Dragons looking to win it around the back. It'll be Dorsey and Sullivan fighting for it. Sullivan will come up with it. He'll look to go the other way. Dorsey couldn't quite get a hold of that one. It'll be Sampson in defense, and Wilson's able to get that one off. Shoemaker tried to glove it. It was a bit wide. And that one will be sent back in by Edson. Dragons take over. Dorsey looks to win it. Sullivan looks to go to goal, but Sampson with a big defensive step, and he'll win that puck right back. And he'll also send Edson into the boards. Nice cut in from Wilson, who rounds the net. Tries to find a cutting man, but that'll be Darian McCarthy to take over at center ice. Dragons looking to get a little breathing room here, and they do. It'll be Rathbone, the one to win it there. He'll see Wilson out wide. Wilson with a deep shot. Gets a little breathing room. He'll get a quick change. And Simon, I think Wilson took a shot from there to try and get his guys a little rest, get off the ice, make some changes. Does that sound right?
You know, I've seen Ethan do it as well. It's a very smart play from both of them to get more players on and get some players off to rest.
Absolutely. Hockey is a sport of fresh legs. You know, the newer the guys on the ice, the better they'll be playing. It'll be Colletti around the ice. And he'll send a high one that'll hit the net. And we're going to see a face-off.
Scorer number 23, Evan Dorsey. Assisted by number 3, Ethan Patterson.
Goal scored by Evan Dorsey there. We get the confirmation over the loudspeaker. Ethan Patterson with an assist. He'll get another point on the season. Centered by Marshwood. It won't go. Big shot there by number 10, Samuel Shepard, but it won't quite find the frame. Nicky Heastand is the first to it. Copeland goes the other way. Here comes Bowditch now. Bowditch with 1 goal already on the night. Slows down, looks to center it. Scooped up and frozen by Maxwell LaPointe of Marshwood. We're going to see an offensive zone faceoff now for the Brunswick Dragons. Roughly 12 minutes left. Dragons are currently triple the Nighthawks score, leading by a whopping 4 goals. Sadly, we are without Robert Bowen tonight, a cornerstone member of this operation. He's playing some box lacrosse. I hope he had a good time. You will, however, see Robert Bowen on the next BHSN stream. We think it'll be tomorrow at either, 6 or 7 p.m. Either home for girls basketball or away for boys basketball. We will keep you posted with updates on the Instagram at Bewick Sports Network. Go give that a follow if you have a chance. And Patterson sends Samuel Shepard to the floor with a big hit. Shoemaker with a good deflection. Boat will be the first 2. And Sullivan hit the deck pretty hard there. LaPointe taps it back for Shepard, who scoops it up. It's Dorsey in pursuit. Out to Magellan. Patterson gives him a taste of pain. Going to see a delayed offsides call, but it won't go because the Dragons will retain the puck. And we're going to see an icing call. So no deflection there, and we're going to see an offensive zone faceoff for the Marshwood Nighthawks. Brunswick does get a change on, and so does Marshwood. We're going to see Drew Vessels versus, all right, that is Nicky Heestand of Brunswick. Brunswick does get it out of the offensive zone. That is Copeland flying in. Marshwood does get a clear. We're going to get no icing call there. Wilson scoops it up and sends it around the back to Sampson. That'll be not Thomas Edison. That will be Nick Edson, sorry, at the back. Thomas Edison is the inventor. Nick Edson is the, I guess it's Thomas Edison. Forget everything I've said so far. High flying shot there from Drew Vessels, but it won't go. Shoemaker holding down the fortress there. Shoemaker has often just set up camp and held it down this year. I mean, he is a solid keeper. He is one of the best to do it. Out to Vessels. Vessels looks to get some room, and that will be back out of the zone for Marshwood, so they're going to get an offsides call, and we're going to see a face-off for the Dragons here. I guess it's not a face-off for the Dragons. It's a mid-center ice face-off. Face-off will be taken by Jonah Kittinger, who has 2 points on the night, and Sean Sullivan. Now Marshwood enters the offensive zone. Quick shot over the head of Michael Shoemaker. Simon, with about 10 minutes left in this game, if you're Marshwood, what are you thinking? I mean, you got to make some changes, right?
Honestly, there's not much Marshwood can do right now with only 10 minutes left. You know, it's still possible for them to get 4 goals to even tie it and possibly go into overtime. That's their best bet.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you're Marshwood, you need to stop thinking about defense and start thinking about, maybe we send a 4th guy up and just have one guy essentially be our sole defender. Oh, great poke check from Boak there. Sorry, from Theo Leons. And there's going to be a big hit at center ice, as it was Jamison Palmer or Nicky Heestand that hit the ice. Theo Leons, Brody Langella, both contesting that puck, and we're going to see. Beware, what was the call there? Head contact. We're going to get a minor penalty for head contact here. Going against Marshwood. Brunswick will have a power play and a face-off in the offensive zone. That penalty will go against Evan Wilson of Marshwood. I didn't entirely catch that one, but we're going to go with the officials' ruling here. Officials are always right. Damian McCarthy looks to clear it. Won't go. Kept in the zone by James Salco. Back out to Patterson. Patterson will send it back to Dorsey. Dorsey back up to Patterson. Backhanded to Boak. Boak can't keep up with it, and he'll smash McCarthy. Big hitter Boak right there. And we're going to see a face-off in the Marshwood half of the ice. That face-off will be taken between Jamison Palmer of Brunswick and Sean Sullivan of Marshwood. I mean, Simon, we've seen this dude Sean Sullivan on almost every single face-off.
Go, Carter going after it. Carter's going after.
That was Cole Bowditch, Simon.
Cole Bowditch? Cole Bowditch going after on number 2 from Marshwood.
Cole Bowditch just had a big hit on Damian McCarthy. Cole Bowditch is not the largest player on the team, but I mean, mentally and in terms of just like how much he wants it, he is one of the biggest dudes out there. There was Bowditch again laying the hit on someone.
We can see a little chippiness off too on Marshwood.
Bowditch is another player that has no fear of the hit stick, and that was the ref that interfered with Sampson's possession of the puck, and Langella came out with it. 45 seconds left on this power play here, as Brunswick has not made much happen of this yet. Sampson comes flying in, possesses the puck nicely, but it's taken away by Shane Colletti of Marshwood. Dragons now look to come the other way. An attempted layoff, but it was broken up by Langella, and he couldn't quite get a hold of it, and then stick down. Dragons maintaining it'll be Copeland around the back of the net here, looking to find a cutting man to shoot. Won't quite get it, and it'll be cleared out of the offensive zone again. Penalty will release, and we're back to 5-on-5 puck here, everybody. Dragons will make some changes. Patterson looking to take advantage of these changes on both sides by flying in. He looks to shoot, can't quite make it happen. Seemed to be a miscommunication with Boak. Boak went for the hit, Patterson went for the pass. And that will be Nicky Heestand around the back. Patterson won't be able to keep it in the zone, and we're going to see a 2-on-1 Boak defending here. Drew Vessel's coming in. And we're going to see a goal here from Marshwood. That was kind of strange. I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed. Simon, any thoughts?
You know, Marshwood just had a goal top left on Michael Shoemaker. Nothing Michael could do there, but a lovely shot from the Marshwood player.
So that is stick side for Shoemaker, which is objectively much harder than glove side. He doesn't have that same movability. Can't really get his glove up there. That was Drew Vessel again on the goal. I believe that's his second of the night now. Dragons lead 6-3. We'll get that put up for you. Kittinger tries to lay it off, but didn't quite make it to Inacio. Now Theo Leones, Inacio, and Ty Landry look to defend, but Jonah Kittinger is going to come through. Jonah Kittinger, a true freshman. Big shot, but just a bit outside. And we are going to get an offsides here from the Dragons. I believe a player entered before the puck did. Kittinger clearly upset by it. And we're going to get a face-off between Evan Dorsey and Sean Sullivan. Simon, how many times have we seen this tonight?
I think this is the matchup of the game right now between those two. That we've been seeing them throughout the whole game thus far.
Absolutely. A young Gretzky versus Sean Sullivan. Not exactly fair. Going to be Theo Leones at the back to clean it up.
Brunswick with the puck in the back there. Sending it up. We've got Nat Rathbone ripping a shot, and it gets the goalie. Goalie stops it. We got a lineup switch on both teams here. And we'll see who the face-off is against. We got Drew and Palmer here on the face-off. Drew going down the ice. Diving save from
Avery Sampson. Avery Sampson with a big diving save. Cole Bowditch will lead us the other way. Bowditch with already a goal in the night.
Bowditch.
Oh! What a connection there. Bowditch made a guy fall. Centers it to Carter Copeland. Carter Copeland one-time shot, and it will just tap off the right post. Marshwood does get a defensive clear. And that was bumped into the zone, meaning the Dragons cannot possess it. That's Drew Wilson there, pressured now by number 13, Peter Blumenfeld. He's starting winger for Marshwood. Marshwood with a bit of pressure on the offensive side here. Shot won't go, and it's Copeland the first to clean it up. He bumps it up ice. And we'll see that swing around to Drew Wilson around the back, who is giving a little bump into the boards there. Number 10, Samuel Shepard, tries to send it down, but Sampson is there with plenty of time. He's going to burn off a few seconds of the clock sitting behind his net. Sees Bodic up the ice. Doesn't quite make it to Bodic, but Palmer is there to collect and enter the offensive zone. Bodic cuts in. Doesn't quite get the shot off he was looking for. Official has his arm raised. We're going to get a delayed call of a penalty here, so we will see a penalty in a second. And now we will see it. That will be Carter Copeland heading to the locks there. Marshwood slashing. Marshwood is going to get a power play here. Dragons lead the shots on goal 26-16 right now, which is not the biggest margin. 10 shots in that scenario is not a ridiculous difference, but it is pretty important. We're going to see a timeout from Marshwood here. Marshwood, with only 3.5 minutes left in this game, likely looking to put in some hero play to score here, as they do need 3 goals in 3.5 minutes. They have 2 minutes of power play here. If they can get one in, it might be achievable. But as of now, the Dragons do lead, and it does look unlikely. Simon, how do we feel about this game so far?
I think this is their only opportunity right now to come back. Them being on a power play, which is great for Marshwood right now, only down by 3 goals. They have a chance to tie it, but only 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the time there.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I could be wrong here. Could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that is a good amount of time. That's a good amount of time, but it's also not. Because when you think about all the time, the Dragons are going to possess the puck and clear it and send it long. I mean, there's going to be seconds just burning off.
And Marshwood, we haven't seen very many great shots off Marshwood, so I don't know how promising it is for them to get 3 goals in 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Considering the first 42 minutes, they only got 16 shots on, and only 3 of those went in. So they need to have a real stroke of magic, luck, whatever you want to call it here. Face-off between Vessels and Rathbone won't go to the Dragons. It'll go to Marshwood. Marshwood shot deflected by Shoemaker. That one was a bit scary for the Dragons. Number 14, Evan Wilson, possesses it. Sean Sullivan finds Langella, who finds Kalidi. Kalidi, a big shot, gets deflected up. And they'll have to exit the offensive zone. Out to Brody Langella. Over to Sullivan, whose shot won't go. Dragons holding a stern box, clearly well-disciplined team, well-trained. Of course, shout out to the coaches, the Michael Meisner and Coach Hageman, the head coach.
Michael Meisner coming back.
Michael Meisner making his return to the Brunswick boys ice hockey team after exit a couple years ago after a state championship. So it's always great to have him back. He's a teacher in our school. Very fun class. Teaches AP U.S. history. And that one is sent long by the Dragons as they'll get a quick line change. Only 44 seconds left on the power play, and yet Marshwood yet to score. They've had a couple good looks, but nothing too ridiculous. It'll be Vessels looking to find a cutting man to shoot. Sullivan hits the floor. Kalidi up top. Shot won't go, went off the shin pad of Dorsey. Patterson around the back will send it long. And that one will hit the stick of Maxwell Lapointe, goalie of Marshwood. Dorsey scoops it up in the offensive zone. And Marshwood takes it away and sends it out to Drew Vessels on the right wing. Vessels drives in. rounds the net and sends it back around. It'll be Wilson who backhanded out. Dorsey leaves it off for Jonah Kittinger. We're going to see a one-on-one for Kittinger. His shot won't go as it was gloved up. Dorsey tries to round the net and put it in. It won't happen. Brunswick with plenty of time to kill here now. Minute 6 left to go. Provided they kill it, they will walk out of here with a win.
1 minute to go.
Dorsey picks it up in the offensive zone. Dorsey with a huge goal. My goodness, Simon. That man is different.
You know, Dorsey right now, absolutely great goal by him. Getting around a player and absolutely putting it in the near post right on the goalie. Kaz doing some dances over to my right. I think it's safe to say that Brunswick Freeport has taken the victory on this game right here.
Dorsey with another brace tonight. 2 goals for him. 2 goals last game, and one of our BHSN players of the game. That's an early 2. And Dragons with another chance, but it won't go into the chest of LaPointe. Sam Minacio grabs that and backhands it. Another shot that will be frozen by LaPointe. Dragons still firing hard with 40 seconds left.
You know, Dragons are not giving up yet, even though they are up 4 right now. This is a great game.
This has been a thriller, Simon. Dragons, 7 goals on the night. That is a high-powered offense. They are operating at a high level today. And through 2 games now, we've seen 12 goals from the Dragons. That is uncommon.
This is great. Only 20 seconds remaining. Marshwood having the puck, but Brunswick's just going to keep firing it up into their offensive zone. See if they can get another.
Absolutely, Simon. 10 seconds left in this game. Dragons going to walk out of Sidney J. Watson Arena with the W tonight, heading to 2-0 on the season. And that will do it tonight for your Brunswick Dragons. A 7-3 victory over the Nighthawks of Marshwood. Big win for the Dragons. We need to give one final shout out to Singer Domingo Sportside Real Estate Group for sponsoring our scoreboard. We do appreciate that greatly. It allows us to tell you what the score is at home. We will not be doing a post-game interview here, so we're gonna go ahead and get things wrapped up. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for the Dragons win. Stay posted to the Buick Sportsnet Instagram for updates about future games. And have a great night, everybody.
Happy holidays.